Good morning, and thank you for joining me, Coach Michael, on your Monday morning. Just a few weeks back was Veterans Day, and it reminded me of a story of a gentleman I met several years back where my son and I had the opportunity to take him and his son to a hockey game. His name is Brian Mast. He was a former Army Ranger that unfortunately in 2017 stepped on an IED, lost both his legs above the knees and part of his hand. Now, as my son and I had a chance to get to know Brian and talk to him, once I felt comfortable asking him, I simply asked him the question, could you tell me a little bit about the mental and physical rehabilitation you had to go through? I couldn't even imagine what he had to go through. And he simply told me when he heard the bomb go off, the first thing he thought of, which one of my guys got hit. And then he heard the chatter on the radio, and the next thing he remembered was waking up in Walter Reed Hospital and realized his life has changed forever. And he told the nurses and the doctors that I need to get back to my men. And they simply told him, sorry, son, that's not going to happen. And he started to go into a dark place, obviously looking for answers. What's his next move? And he spoke to his dad, and he told his dad, all I know how to do, Dad, is to serve. And his father said, you could still serve, son. Think about it. So he realized that moment he could run for Congress and still push his initiatives for veterans and wounded warriors like himself. When I was listening to that story, I was stunned because as a coach, I help my clients get clear on their vision and their plan. And here's a gentleman in a hospital bed. Life has changed forever. And after speaking to his dad, was able to make a decision like that. Well, once a quarter, I get my clients together to work on a business plan for an entire day, to get out of the business to work on their business. And I couldn't think wow, how awesome would it be to have a gentleman like this tell and share his story so every single business owner sitting there would realize whatever problems they got going on isn't nothing. So I asked Brian, and Brian agreed. Unfortunately, about 2 weeks before the event, his scheduler called me and mentioned he couldn't make it. Now, I get it. He's running for Congress. There's a lot going on. He's going through a lot of shifts, a big change from the military. So all of a sudden, I realized, oh my God, I got to prepare for this event in 2 weeks. And as I started thinking, am I being selfish? I heard Brian's story. It was inspiring. And I want to hear it again. And it made me think, are we consistently going outside ourselves to find the inspiration to get motivated to move forward? Do we go to a seminar or a speaking event or read a book or watch a movie, all to get inspired, to take that inspiration, get motivated to push us forward? And it got me looking deeper into that situation and that perspective. And I realized, I went back to something I wrote down a long time ago. It's this. In 1990, I did the Tony Robbins Personal Power Program. It's a 30-day program that you go through videos every day, Monday through Friday, and go through these different perspectives. And one of the chapters was how to create unstoppable self-confidence. And it talked about going back in your own inventory of your life, of all the challenges you've gone through and how you've come out the other side smelling like a rose. There's a lot of times when we hit adversity in life. The older we get, sometimes more challenges. When you're younger, maybe you haven't hit them yet. But there has been times, I guarantee you, each and every one of you listening to this video today has hit a spot that you were stuck, that you didn't think you were able to get through. But then you did a gut check, and you doubled up, and you did whatever you needed to do to get to the other side, and you came out smelling like a rose. And as you look back, it was one of the turning points and one of those lessons of achievements in your life. When I moved to Florida in 2000 as a 21-year-old with nothing but my car and a little bit of money, for the first year I was scared. I cried. But I said I will never go back. I'm going to stick it out, make it here. and my life has changed. I met wonderful women, have two beautiful children, been living here for 43 years now. I love South Florida. There's been times that things were difficult, but I was able to get through. So what I have is I have all these recorded in this book. And as I started reading this before that event, I read all these challenges that I went through in my life and came out the other side so much stronger. And when I was done reading it, I'm like, damn, that's badass. And the best thing, it was me. And all of you have the same thing right here inside you. So the next time you go out looking for a movie or a book or a seminar or a workshop or a video to get inspired, go back in your own life, or maybe someone close to you, your parents, that had gone to an event, through an event, that they had to do the gut check to get to the other side to smell like a rose. Record that, get conscious with that, and realize that's part of you. So whenever you need what you need to get to the next level, you got it right here. And personally, I have the privilege and the pleasure of working with executives, business owners, leaders, and team members to find that in them, to get them to see it so I can guide them to the next level. So remember, anytime you're struggling, you got what you need right here. Get with that, pull that out, get comfortable with it, and realize everything you had to get through in your life, you got through, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be listening to me today. So if your life is worth living, it's worth recording, so you can go back and use that as leverage to move you forward. I hope this has been valuable. Like always, I want to thank you for joining me, Coach Michael, on your Monday morning. I want to wish you a productive, proper week. Go get 'em.